It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay.
Mike Trout is just okay.
So I told my guy Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
This is what it's all about, isn't it?
Wow. Oh, boy.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay. I had to take a little time off there. That whole thing of having to do back-to-back episodes really took a lot out of me. So I had to take a week off and enjoy some of my Roku, so then now I can come back to you with full updates and all the things that are going on with me and my Roku. That's right, it's a me show. I talk about all the things I do with my Roku, and hopefully that inspires you to see what you can do with either cord cutting or anything along those lines. You can use a Roku if you want. I think it's the best. That's what I do. Is it best for you? We'll find out. Let's get started.
Oh, 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 yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, okay. For a show that's about me and my Roku, I very rarely talk about what I actually watch on my Roku. I mean, I tell you about the apps and the channels that I watch and all that stuff, but I really don't talk about the shows that I watch and all that stuff, because who cares, right? You know, it's no big deal. But when you have some time off and you're trying to squeeze some programs in, when you got some time to yourself, you got your brother in for a quick visit, your wife's out in Montana of all places, you get a chance to go through and watch some stuff uninterrupted and all that stuff. Lots of sports, especially with the 3 TV setup going on. So lots of football, baseball playoffs, or baseball the end of season as we get ready for the playoffs. A lot of that stuff going on. But I did get my CBS All Access restarted. I talked about that in the last show. And they have a little show there called, maybe you heard of it, Star Trek? Yeah, kind of a big series. Star Trek Discovery. I'm not going to give you a big full breakdown review or anything like that. I did watch it, and so my Star Trek watching has kind of limited since Star Trek Nemesis. I'm original series fan the most part, but I got into the Next Generation a little bit, especially in the movies. But since Nemesis, anything after that with Star Trek has been kind of a thanks but no thanks type of thing. The J.J. Abrams movies and all that stuff, and the whole alternate timeline and all that stuff, it was like, but I had some time to myself, and I watched Star Trek Discovery, and I was okay. You know, hey, it was very well done as far as made and all that stuff, and then seeing a different perspective. You know, it's not the big starship captain, I'm the leader and all that stuff, and blah, 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 blah. Getting someone else's perspective and all that was pretty cool. A little tip of the cap to some of these things. I really don't understand. Vulcan seems to me like a big planet, you know, and so there's lots of people who can have logic and all that stuff. Why we have to go strictly to characters that we know already. I just don't understand that, and so why we have to bring these things back. So I understand with some of the things they're doing with Star Wars. They're doing things in the same universe, but different people, you know, kind of coincided, you know. But anyway, but very well done. I watched the first season. There's another season that's out available right now. The other one was on Hulu, and that was 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Kind of a different take on the movie. They seem to incorporate all the different things of the movie, but with different characters and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, all the different Richard Curtis movies, Love Actually, Notting Hill, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, all that stuff. So anything that you've seen in those movies was somehow incorporated into this 10-part series. So I really don't have here's an analogy that came to me very, very, very long time ago. If you remember the TV show on PBS called Sneak Previews, okay? Now, it was made famous by the Chicago movie critics Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. But when they left to do their own show in syndication, 2 other people then came in and replaced them. And I can't remember their names for the life of me now. One was Michael Medved, I believe, and I can't remember the other guy. Irons or something, Jeremy something, Jeffrey something, I don't know. Lyons? Jeffrey Lyons? Maybe? Who knows? Anyway, so I'm also going to slow down, and this is going to be really fun if you're listening to me at 2 times speed on your podcast player. they reviewed the movie Spaceballs. And this guy gave it a review, and it was just kind of like, it was just okay. It was just like half the jokes hit, type of thing. And so he was going to give it kind of a thumbs down type of thing. And so the other guy comes up and he goes, well, you make a very interesting point, but guess what? If you were lined up in front of a firing squad and only half the bullets hit you, would it get the job done? And so he kind of gave it a mediocre to thumbs up review then. That's kind of how I felt about 4 Weddings and a Funeral, for whatever it's worth to you. It's about 50-50. And so if you're lined up in front of a firing squad and half of them hit you, then I caught all the winks and nods of all the different things from all the different movies and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So then in stereotypical, will they, won't they, this person get together for no reason and stuff, and then all these people. So there is, in fact, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and the funeral was actually the best part of the movie. Sad to say, in a sense, but it was very well done and very moving. That's probably the best thing of the show. So if you need something on Hulu to watch, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, if you want to go for a 50-50. Star Trek Discovery, if you're on CBS All Access, something to watch. If you're a Star Trek fan, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And the little wink, wink, nudge, nudge to some of the things of the original series. That's what I was doing with me and my Roku on my Staycation. Okay. Woohoo. So, the streaming wars are getting crazy out there. And one of the things that I'm finding, trying to stay in tune with these things, and if you're a new cord cutter or new to the Roku, can get kind of confusing. If you're searching for information, you can get thrown in different directions. My big recommendation is, once you get a Roku, is just explore. Do the work and all that stuff. Once you've done the work and get all the things that you think you need or you want or anything like that, everything else will take care of itself. All you got to do is just maintain everything like that and continue exploring. Don't get locked into a channel. Don't just say, all I need is Netflix and I can never leave and all that stuff. Now, there's plenty out there for you. That just when you realize you could cut the cord and realize that there was other things out there, or you can even keep the cord and just realize that there's other things out there and plenty of viewing out there. Don't get lost in stats and all that stuff. We have a problem both in the real world out there, especially in corporate America and all that stuff, where we're just addicted to Excel spreadsheets. We just got to look at the numbers, the data. What does this all tell me? And then you try and look at things with your real eyes. You get these things from up above, from upper management, and they're telling you these things because they're looking at numbers. And he says, yeah, well, I'm dealing with the real people here in the real world and all that stuff, and it's not quite what you think type of thing. All right, have you ever dealt with that? I've been on both ends of that spectrum, and I always like to keep my eyes open and my ears open and all that stuff, and listen and look and try and tell me what these numbers are actually telling me type of thing. So when it comes to these programs, don't get fooled by the numbers and say that Hulu's the number one thing. Well, I must get Hulu then. That doesn't mean anything. Hulu is great, and it's come a long way. If you remember listening to some of my classic episodes, I thought Hulu was an afterthought and all that stuff. Well, why would I want Hulu? I got Netflix. I don't need anything else. And I've come full circle on those things. And now Hulu is one of the biggest values out there. I get it, but that doesn't mean that you should jump automatically into the live TV portion of it or anything like that. It might not have everything that you need. PlayStation View. Well, it's number 12. What do I need that for? Well, for me, it does everything that I need. 1, it gives me all the sports programming I need and the Red Zone and Goal Line and all that stuff, plus logins to all the cable alternative shows and all of that and the networks. May not work for you, though. Philo could just be just exactly what you need. That's fine, perfectly obvious. So don't let the numbers fool you. Look at it this way. Everyone will tell you that Mike Trout's the greatest baseball player ever, because you look at the numbers and you go, holy smokes. Then you look at your real eyes and you go, oh, okay, yeah, he's fine. So I don't hate Mike Trout or anything like that, but when you look at the numbers and then you look at it in real life and you go, well, yeah, of course he's great because his team sucks. Mike Trout doesn't hurt me, so let him get his home runs and his hits and all that stuff because I'm not going to lose. It's a thought, just an opinion, but it's the same thing. You get these numbers and it says, well, Sling TV is the best thing out there and all that stuff, and you look at it and go, yeah, but I can't log into other channels and all that stuff. I have to do everything in the app. It's confusing. I'm not saying Sling's bad. I like Sling very much, but PlayStation View works better for me. It could be the totally opposite for you. You have to get out there and explore and run these things for yourself. Tubi's the best thing out there. Pluto TV. Pluto TV keeps adding things every day and doesn't take anything away. It's getting bloated. You got to be a little careful out there. There's plenty of things out there to watch and plenty of things that don't just go off the stats. Go to your personal taste for what you need, and you'll be able to enjoy you and your Roku. Because I enjoy me and my Roku. Okay, kids. Once again, huddle up time. Come along to Uncle Pete here. Just gather around. Yep, it's all good. Just come around, form a circle here as I bump my mic. I get excited when I talk about Archive.org. Couldn't do this show without them. They are the best out there. They have the Wayback Machine. They have been scanning the web all these years. Scraping? Is that what I'm thinking of? I don't know. Anyway, they're preserving the internet. They have the Wayback Machine going, looking at every single website that's gone since the beginning of the internet. Plus, books, movies, TV shows, podcasts. Yay! Arcade games. Anything is there. Check it out today. The best library out there is at your fingertips, either on your mobile device or on the computer. Archive.org. Check them out today. And then, when you see all the things that they offer, right for the asking, right there for you, consider supporting them and making a donation or spreading the word, anything to know what a great service this is. Archive.org. Check them out today. The Internet Archive is the most fabulous thing out there today. Check them out today and support, please. Archive.org. Alrighty. How about some news and notes? Just to go back to what I was saying about don't let the stats sway you and your decisions or anything. You'll hear these stories out here that Hulu has passed Amazon on the most watched list on Roku. That's right. What does that mean? Hulu. Are they number one? No. Are they number two? No. Number three. Amazon slips to number 4. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. But Hulu, from where they came from, as kind of this last-ditch effort by broadcast stations to get in on the streaming thing. What is this all about? To becoming kind of a behemoth and part of the big plans for Disney as they move along. Not just Disney Plus, but Hulu is big. So they got a big 2/3 hold on Hulu. And more coming. So they're climbing up the ladders. Netflix is number 1. YouTube's number 2, just in case you care. Also, some updates on my PlayStation View type of things. There's I did a thing where I upgraded and only had to pay $1 because that was 2/3 of the way through my pay period. And I had an update, and then so I was getting extra channels. And then, but I had to cancel my whole service and all. So it was kind of a conundrum type of thing. So beware. Well, it worked out for me in the end because I canceled my service. And so when it came to a day, that next day then, PlayStation View then had a sale so that I could get my original lineup of shows at a sale price, $10 less for 2 months. So one of these things where I kind of failed upwards a little bit. Same thing now. I added the sports package so I get the Red Zone and Goal Line and Strike Zone and all the other regional network channels that are useless and all that stuff. But they're there. Plenty of things to watch now then. So they gave me 5 days of free preview and then the balance of the month. So I only paid $4 of the normal $10 service. And then I'll go back to regular price at the next pay period. So that's the update as far as that goes. So just be careful. I was trying to do this little thing where you could kind of feel like you're kind of cheating the system a little bit of how you can save some money and watch some of the extra shows and all that stuff and go back. More PlayStation View changes that affect me is that the Science Channel and Destination America, if I want to watch them from now on, I need to go to the Elite program. And once again, if I wanted to do that now, I could because I'm halfway through my pay period, but then I'd have to cancel everything and then get it back again. It's kind of a to-do. So I'll just watch them on their apps if I feel it. Destination America can just go away as far as I'm concerned because anything like the ghost stuff that's on there, that can go to the Travel Channel because that's what that has become now. And all the cooking shows and barbecue can go on either the Cooking Channel or the Food Network. So is there really a thing for Destination America anymore since the big merger of Discovery and Scripps? So that's how I feel about that, in case you cared. What the heck is going on with AT&T? I don't care because I don't subscribe to anything anymore. I did try DirecTV Now while it was still DirecTV Now. It's now AT&T Now. But it seems like AT&T is, I don't know what they're doing and all that stuff, so it doesn't really affect me. So if you're wondering about these things, if you're just getting a Roku or have been dealing with all these things, don't worry about it. Either let it go and just deal with Netflix, Hulu, or PlayStation View, or YouTube TV, or something like that. I'm willing just to let them go, and there's plenty of other things out there. Or if you're a subscriber to AT&T, just hang on, relax. We're all in transition phase with all these different things going on. Everyone's scrambling to put themselves together and all that stuff. I am interested to seeing what their HBO Max or whatever will be. That's way off of my radar. I'll talk about my radar coming up in just a little bit, but I don't have anything else to say about that. So that's all the things going on right there. Hulu taking on Amazon on Roku and all that stuff. So plenty of things going on in case you care. So that's all the news and notes going on with me and my Roku. Ooh. All right. Comings, goings, and what's on my radar. On my radar. Have you heard about this fruit company? They're kind of a big deal. Apple. That's right. They had their big announcement last week. Apple TV Plus will be available on your Roku. That is on my radar because they have a price of $4.99. All I got to say is I'll check it out. And when Disney Plus was announced, especially with their bundle with Hulu, I said, sign me up right away. Just, here it is. Here's my money. Take it. With Apple TV, since I have Apple credits and all that stuff, or I can just buy an Apple TV and get it free for a year. Could do that. And have a Roku podcast called Me and My Apple TV. But we're sticking with the Roku, since it's going to be on there. Available November 1st, $4.99. Use some of my Apple credits on that. Check it out. Maybe they'll give me a free trial. Who knows? Apple TV Plus. NBC announced, or NBC Universal, Comcast, whatever that whole conglomerate, announced their ad-supported Plus subscription. So it's going to be both, kind of like a Hulu. So if you want to drop the commercials, you can. Or CBS All Access, I guess, maybe. Announced what their app is going to be called. It's going to be called Peacock. They're proud of their logo, their moniker, and they're going to go with it. It's another one of these things that kind of bothers me when I hear these things that say, I don't get this PlayStation View because I don't need a PlayStation, do I? Oh. These are brands. PlayStation View has all these devices. Other than Roku, PlayStation has the most devices out there, so they're just adding that as part of their brand. I don't get it. YouTube TV. Okay, do you get YouTube with YouTube TV? No. But that's what they call it. So it's just branding. So NBC Universal, they're proud as a peacock, so they're calling it Peacock. And even with this filter on there, I still think I popped a P, but that's okay. Comings and goings, I added FYI. I think it's actually FYI, comma. It's the poor man's A&E network and their kind of version of HGTV and all those different, actually HGTV and Discovery, because there's a whole bunch of other truckers and stuff like that too. So I checked that out. It gave me, it's an authentication channel, but it signed in with my cable subscription, even though I just have the internet service. So it signed in. I was getting a whole bunch of programming, and so I got to watch waterfront flippers and all that stuff. So and race truck drivers and all that stuff. So it's kind of going boomerang. I have subsequently or tentatively canceled it for October 7th. I've kind of gotten my fill of Scooby-Doo, even though he just celebrated his 50th anniversary. So happy birthday, Scooby-Doo. Happy 50th birthday. Mine's coming up in February. Woohoo! So I'm as old as Scooby-Doo. Yay. I've been using Apple credits on that, so I haven't paid anything out of my pocket for it. But I think there's other things out there, maybe like this Apple TV Plus and ESPN Plus also, and I'll be discontinuing that briefly before I get the Hulu combo with Disney Plus coming up in November. So that's the comings and goings. And speaking of going, I've got to run again. I got to get back to my Roku. I've been gone for so long now. I need to get back to it. So special thanks to Archive.org for their support. We thank them. We love them. And by we, I mean me. You can subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, iHeartMedia, and Radio.com. Let's not forget about them. Follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction. Send me something in there saying you're getting the show and you love it. And questions and comments, because this is Me and My Roku, but I'm open to ideas. You can email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. I hope you're enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku, and I'll check in with you real soon.